In this episode, we're going to check out the 9-inch that I got custom made by the Rodshop and why I haven't yet put it in the XW. Let's go. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It has been a while and I finally have a bit of an update. I didn't really have that much to share over the last, I don't know how long it's been, maybe 8 weeks, something like that, most of the summertime actually. Because a couple of reasons. One, it gets super hot in this garage and it's very hard to be motivated. You're just sweating. It's just not a great environment to be feeling comfortable working your car. It gets like 30 something degrees in here and there's no aircon, even a fan. It's pretty minimal support. The second thing is I've been focusing on buying a house. I've wanted to get a house with a pretty decent sized garage. Unfortunately for the area I'm living, I was a little bit out of my price range and prices have been climbing pretty quickly in the area with the opening of borders and stuff. So prices are sort of going up in my area. But anyway, I did manage to secure a place. So that's been a pretty big focus, buying a place. So I bought a 3-bedroom townhouse, another double garage. I have a bit more flexibility to do what I want because I don't own this place. I'm actually only renting here. But finally decided to bite the bullet and yeah, get a place of my own. So then I'll have a bit more freedom to do what I want in the garage, put things on the wall, build shelves, whatever I want to do. That's going to be pretty exciting. So that's probably a couple of months away. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to get done between now and actually moving into that place. Yeah, so anyway, enough of that. That's kind of what's been happening in the background. But today we're going to look at the diff that came from the Rodshop. Now, one thing I would mention is that it took about 7 months to get that diff, which arrived probably a week or so back. I think I ordered it in September last year. So there is a bit of a delay. If you're interested in getting one of these, you put your order in and you'll be waiting. Now, there may be other people who can do it quicker, but if you're getting it from the Rodshop, there's a bit of a delay, at least when I ordered mine. So you might want to ask them if that's what you're interested in doing. This is a custom width diff, and I'll go through those stats now, but let's have a quick look at how she looks. All right, so here's the diff. I've just taken off the wrapping. You can see this is from the Rodshop. We'll have a bit of a quick once over looking at this, then we'll talk about some of the stats. It's got the yoke inside of here, but I haven't taken that off, mainly because I'm still moving this around and I just want to keep it on the bits of wood. The wood actually cracked here as well when it was delivered. So yeah, just sort of trying to keep it all together. And this side here, I haven't unwrapped it. I just thought we'd unwrap the other side. That would give us a good idea how she looks. Yeah, there she is. She's looking pretty good. Let's talk about the stats. All right, in terms of the stats of the 9-inch, as I said, I did get it slightly custom for the custom width for my application. So this is for an XW Falcon. I'm assuming it would fit on anything XW, XR, probably all those, I would imagine. But the width I got it was 1460, so I hope my measurements are right, because this diff costs just shy of $5,000 after you get the handbrake and have it delivered. So I got it at 1460 mils, and that should fit the wheels a little bit better. So let's have a look at how the wheels are now. So if you see here, the wheels just don't kind of fit under the guard there. They would rub a bit, and you can see they have rubbed a little bit when I just brought it in through the garage, just on when the suspension's moving around a little bit. So that's basically what that's all about. So that should fix that problem. I think from memory, and I did this like 6 months ago when I ordered this. So I think it was about 25 mil off each end. I think the standard diff might be 1525 mil. And this is 1460 millimeters. The ratio I chose to get was 3.7 gears. It's really hard when you never had these types of gears before. I've never had a 9-inch. I've never had any custom gears. So I thought I'd go middle of the road. 3.7 sounds like a pretty good compromise between highway and sort of a drag, you know, that type of thing. So 3.7 gears, which is a true track center as well. The brakes are 280 mil Willwoods with the red caliper. Now I did look, originally actually I did order 320 mil and I ended up changing them a few months ago because the 320mm cannot fit a 14-inch rim. So if I wanted to put factory kind of rims back on here at any point, I wouldn't really be able to do it. You'd have to stick with a 15-inch wheel. So that kind of deterred me, and I thought, well, you know, it's not a full race car, so I think these brakes are way better than a factory brake. So 280mm should be more than adequate and do much better than the standard brakes that it would have come with. It is a standard forward pattern. The studs are a really thick stud. They're 1/2 inch UNF, and I believe they're ARP ones as well. So pretty much probably the best in the game as far as I'm aware. And then just the standard mounts for the brakes, or for the diff to go in. So yeah. Now I also bought the Willwood handbrake solution that comes with it. So that will work with the brakes that come on here. So I thought, you know, that's worth getting extra. I believe this is I think it was about $180 or so. Let's have a little look at what's in the box. All right, so in the box you get these instructions. So this is the Willwood universal handbrake cable kit. There's some instructions on how to actually do this. Yeah, some information here. Goes through how to actually connect it and everything like that, how to connect it to your brakes. How to use the adapters and stuff that go with it, I guess, to connect it to your existing system. And how to actually, looks like how to use it or test it. So yeah, in terms of what's in the packaging, really it's just all the nuts and bolts you'd need here, and yeah, the cable. So it looks pretty straightforward. Just have to follow the instructions, I guess, and test everything before we go, but that'll be a little bit down the track before we get that point. So while I could, I guess, start putting the diff in, there is one thing I want to do. So this is one of the things I found when I'm doing this is I start doing something, then I realize I want to do something else before I finish that bit. A good example of that is painting the boot area. Still haven't finished that. I ended up changing my mind on how we're going to do that. I'm going to buy a new compressor. One of the things that needs to happen is I need a new compressor before we do that, but I'm probably not going to do that until everything's sorted with moving and into the house, because cash flow is going to be super important about managing all that before I sort of go and invest any more money into the car. Now, the other thing that needs to happen before the diff can go in that I've decided I want to do is put complete new suspension under the rear. And I'm currently looking at two options. I guess one is the Calvert monoleaf springs with the Cal tracks is one option, and a aftermarket shock as well. I think Calvert does some of those as well, or there is a company up here called Motorfab in Queensland that does a full kit that goes under the back of an XW. I think it's about $2,100, almost $2,200, which is basically a split monoleaf, bolts straight in, and then a shock extra. I think the Viking shocks from memory. So I'm thinking of doing that first, but then there's also painting, cleaning up the underneath of the car. So I'm not sure if I'll do that before I move. It's really going to depend on what happens with the house and the payments and stuff like that, and making sure all my finances are in order before I bother spending any more money on the car. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. All right, so let's look at these handle cups. So these are made in Taiwan. I got these from Fish Shop Falcons off eBay. They're a darker color than what I expected, but I've put one on the car and they do kind of look all right. But I don't remember what they were. I think they cost $70 for 4 or something like that. Anyway, here's one out of the packet, and it actually was pretty good. I mean, they're pretty well made. It's only plastic, so all mine kind of are about this condition. So this is probably a bit more of a saddle color, but whatever, it's close enough. It's good enough for me. I've got one on the door. I'll give you a look shortly, but I'm just putting all the interior back in as I'm getting prepared to move. And then I've also got an aftermarket door handle, which looks like this. These ones are from the GT shop in Melbourne. Here's one that come off the car. Gonna have a look in there. Does it have, doesn't say, can't tell if there's a Ford logo in there or not. But you also got your markers in this one here. It's got no markings on the inside. So seems pretty well made. Yeah, I mean it's pretty well done. Slight difference in the way this is made compared to an original one. But when it's on the car, you are not going to notice that. So it's a matter of, do you buy all new ones of these? I kind of like these. And then they come with a little disc, 3M disc that just obviously is going to sit in there once it's all on and done. You can see I've got one here that someone's tried to repair, which is basically why I got this one. I was just going to reuse these. But now I'm kind of inclined to maybe buy another set, but there's other things on the car that need to be done. So I think these look pretty good. They're pretty well done. I think they're more than good enough to do the job. Then we have these, which I needed as well. So obviously you just got your standard doorknob, just a plastic, but they look pretty good. It's a bit of a mark there where it's, you know, chopped off, but I guess you probably won't even see that. And you got these little inserts with a bit of felt or something there, which is pretty good. And this is what they look like underneath. So yeah, there you go, it goes inside of that. The issue is, I don't know if these are different to a Falcon 500, to a GT, or a Fairmont. Obviously, these are too big for a Falcon 500, or too small, I should say. So the Falcon 500 obviously doesn't have the trim, and I've got a feeling these are a little bit smaller to fit inside the GT or Fairmont trim, because these are too loose in a hole. But anyway, let's have a little look at what I've got in terms of putting the door trim back on and how it looks with the new cup, and not actually a replacement handle, but how that looks with the cup, really. That's the main thing. Okay, so obviously the original door trim, and you can see with the cup, this is the cup that's replaced the original one. So it actually, it works. It works enough to make it look all right. These handles are pretty worn out. I thought about replacing those, but I might just leave them for now, just to spend money on things that are more important. But I'm just thinking of putting the interior back in just while I get ready to move. But if we have a look at this, so I've got this little piece here. Obviously this is going to sit over the door, and it just sits there, but it just doesn't look like it's supposed to be there to me. It just looks very loose. You can see that it's very easy to spin. And I've got a feeling it needs to have the trim. So maybe there's a different one of these for a Falcon 500. So I'll have to look into that and just change that. But anyway, that's the little bit of news that I have right now. So let's keep going. All right, and one other thing before we wrap up this video, I have a new brand that's coming for the channel. And when I say that, what I mean is Rob's Garage. It is by Garage, it's kind of cool, but I'm literally looking for something I can brand a bit better than just Rob's Garage, because I just think it's pretty common. So I have a new brand that's coming. I'll share that as soon as I have something more to tell about that. So I already have a domain name. I think everything else will be sweet. I'm going to set up a website. We'll have a look at, you know, whether we have some merch and stuff on there as well. But I have a few ideas about where I want to go with that. But also need a logo, all that sort of stuff. Bit of something cool to rebrand the channel and give it a bit of something that's a bit more marketable and a bit more memorable. So stay tuned for that. All right, so I'm going to wrap up this one. Not a huge amount to share, unfortunately. And like I said, because of the house, I haven't really prioritized the car because the house is more important. I need to get all that sorted, then we can get stuck back into this. But I think we're pretty good to look at ordering the suspension soon, and that'll get us back on track, and then we can go from there. Then I can put the 9-inch in, and then we can keep working on all the suspension for the XW project. If you have subscribed recently, thanks for subscribing. Stick around, we'll have more content soon. Just got to get real life stuff sorted out first, and yeah, we'll get back on track. Until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Cheers.